Is that better? Nope, that's got the play. Let's see. There we go. All right. I think we're back in action now. I think we've got our audio issues resolved, and we are almost ready to get started. All right. It's just 7 o'clock now, so we're going to give our friends a couple of minutes to try to find us. You know, it's just about 7, so people are kind of jumping on. So hopefully they will find us and we can go ahead and get started. Hey, Marcia, how are you? Good to see you. So last week after Sunday stamping, I got really sick. I ended up with like 102 fever. Finally went to urgent care, got some antibiotics. I had a very bad sinus infection. But a couple of days later, an antibiotics, and I feel like a new woman. So we're ready to hit the ground running today. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make my desk larger so that you can see. There we go. Hopefully that can see it now. Well, thank you, Marcia. I appreciate that, but I'm feeling so much better. Okay, I guess I didn't make this large enough to be seen on camera, at least for hint number 1. So let me go ahead and I'll just read these real quick. So everybody who's watching or just coming on the replay, they can gather their stuff. So I said orientation matters. This card is going to have a portrait or vertical orientation. So you need a piece of cardstock that's 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. You need a piece of designer series paper that was 8 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and you had to score that at 4. Sorry, my puppy was being naughty down here. You needed a piece of basic white for the inside. So you could either use a piece that was about 4.5 by 3 1/4, or I used the second largest die from the Scalloped Contours die from Stampin' Up! Scalloped Contours dies. Whenever I refer to product, I'm always referring to Stampin' Up! Products. Hey, Anne, how you doing? Thank you. Yes, I'm feeling so much better. And then you need another piece of basic white cardstock, and you could either punch it out with like a 2-inch circle punch, or again, if you have the layering circle dies, you needed to cut that with one that was about a 2-inch circle. Then another piece of coordinating cardstock that was really going to be large enough to layer that white die, that white circle on. So again, maybe like 2 1/4 inches. Some coordinating inks, a stamp set or stamp sets if you have multiple with images and sentiments, an embossing folder. This is optional. I think it's going to make the card really pop. If you have an embossing folder, I really recommend that you do it. I just think it's going to make it a little bit more interesting. And then embellishments, of course, any embellishments you want. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're here, let us know who's here. I love to see who's here. If you are watching on replay, go ahead and put #replay. And if you are not yet a subscriber to my YouTube channel, my Crafty Clock YouTube channel, I would so appreciate your support by subscribing. All right, let's get this show on the road. Hint number 2. So you want to stamp your sentiment and or an image or images on that 4.5 by 3 1/4 inch piece of basic white cardstock. And then you're just going to place that off to the side until hint number 8. All right. I like to get all of our stamping out of the way first, so then we can just focus on putting it together. I'm trying to make sure this is straight. I don't know how this is straight. And then we'll do all the assembling after we've got all our stamping done. Okay. Hopefully that's better. I don't want to mess with it too much. All right. Again, when you all are done, just go ahead and say done too, and then we can move on. I don't think there's, maybe there's like 10 or 11 steps in tonight's card. I don't think it's that many. But I think, Anne, I think your DSP from last week kind of inspired me. So I saw those birds and like, I like that paper. Still a little bit tired. So yesterday up here in Virginia, they have what's called the Route 11 yard crawl. Excuse me. It's supposed to be just a one-day event, but people start setting up on like Thursday night, and it goes for 42 miles from Newmarket, Virginia, all the way up to right just above me in Stevens City. It is literally bumper to bumper traffic. People are parking all over the road. They're just darting across, this 2-lane highway. So yesterday I braved it. This is only our second year here. And we went, and I scored 3 chairs for $10. I'm going to refinish them and reupholster them and use them down here in my workshop when I have like in-person workshops. So I was pretty psyched about that. Okay, number 2 is done. Okay, just waiting for a couple more people to say done too, and we'll move on. So I'll be posting pictures of the before and after. But my husband said, just give them the $15. I'm like, look, it's late in the day. They're not going to want to cart these chairs home. I'm just going to give them $10. They'll take it or lose it. They took it. I'm like, woo. All right. So that was my big, I guess, find for yesterday. But I tell you, if you've never seen something like that Route 11 yard crawl, it's something to behold. It's pure craziness. True shopper. I don't know with that. I think I just was in the right place at the right time. But I mean, they have like such an assortment of items, shall we say. All right, let's moving on to Tint 3. So you want to stamp an image on your basic white circle, whatever you got it, you die cut it, you punched it, whatever. You just want to stamp your image on that, and then you're going to place that to the side until number 9. Hit number 9. Now, of course, if you want to stamp a sentiment instead of an image, again, it's always your choice. I just like to give you ideas and see how you interpret them and what you come up with. But I really do kind of like this design, so I hope you like it too. So it's another little fun fold, and I know Claudette likes her fun folds. I'm redoing my website, so I'm going to start putting these up like during the week after we do them. I'm going to have them all typed up in a nice format that if you want to just go in and download them, you can go ahead and do all that. And of course, Anne, as a team member, they'll be on the team Facebook page. So these will be available both to the public and to my team, and these will be available for free. So let's see, who's in the workshop with me tonight? I have Emma, Trooper, and Remy down here with me this evening. I guess Oliver, Mia, and Chloe are upstairs with my hubby. Okay, just go ahead and let me know when you guys are done with 3. We'll move on. I guess I'm trying to center this because what looks centered to me on the desk isn't actually really centered in the camera. And that's very crooked. Okay, so again, what is straight to me is not straight. Yeah, there we go. I guess that's better. Oh, and that's my pleasure. It's so easy to do. No biggie at all. Actually, I think I'm a couple of like classes behind in uploading them. I gotta get them onto that Facebook page. Okay. Anne is done. Let's see who else is done. Anybody else? We're done with 3. We'll move on. Okay. All right. Let's go on to hint number 4. Okay. So now you want to open up your card base. I'm going to use my little fake card base here. You want to open up your fake card base, right? So you're going to put the 8.5-inch piece across the top of your paper. You're going to line up the left edge, this edge, at the 6.5-inch marking, and you're just going to cut off 2 inches. So just open it up like this flat, put this left edge on your 6.5-inch, and just cut it. And you should have a 2-inch by 5.5-inch strip of cardstock. So let me know if you have any questions. I hope I try to write these in ways that are easy to understand, but sometimes the way my brain works is a bit odd from how everybody else's brain works. So I try to do it logically, but sometimes my logic doesn't necessarily flow. How was everybody's weather today? Ours was kind of meh. Wasn't really hot enough to go in the pool, and I don't know, after a week of not feeling good, I was kind of looking forward to sitting by the pool and just relaxing this afternoon, but it just wasn't meant to be. It's okay. I had a lot of stuff to catch up on, so I'm taking this training class. Oh, you missed stamped. Had to start again. No worries, Marsha. So anyway, I'm taking this training class on how to like really develop your website, because I never really knew how to do it. So what was up there, I kind of have to go back and redo it all. So I'm redoing it, excuse me, piece by piece. So I reconfigured like the contact page, and then the about me section, and then I had to design a 404 page, which is basically like an error page. Oh, it's so cute. I love my 404 page. I hope nobody ever sees it, but it's pretty cute. So basically, what 404 means is that they clicked for something and they couldn't find it. So it just says, oh, yeah, we can't find it either. So anyway, that was fun, but it's definitely a learning curve, and it's a whole new set of skills. So Marsha, just let us know when you're caught up. I'm going to let it just sit here on hint number 4 for a bit. Okay, back up. I'm going to let this sit here on hint 4 for just a bit to give Marsha a chance to catch up, and then we will move forward. So just let us know, Marsha. No worries. And what's happening down your way? Anything exciting? So tell your friends to come join us too for Sunday stamping, Sunday secret stamping. I know everybody must be missing Sharon terribly, because she's been out. So we'll never fill her shoes, but we can at least maybe entertain a little bit until she's back on her feet. All right. So I'm just waiting to see how everybody's doing. All right. Oh no, Anne, I'm sorry. Ugh, I feel your pain. Literally, I feel your pain. Hopefully that'll be soon, and that you'll be feeling better. But yeah, not a fun thing. Well, I know Patty was out camping this weekend. She and Dan just went, I don't know, like an hour from their house. So she called me today while she was there. We were just chit-chatting a bit. But we're pretty excited to be going to On Stage. So, okay, no worries. Don't worry. Don't need to apologize, Marcia. All right, let's roll it on to hint number 5. Now you want to take that 2-inch piece of paper that you just cut, and you want to trim it off so it becomes 2 by 5 1/4. Because obviously we're going to then emboss that if you want to. Again, this is optional, but I will tell you, it will make the card look so pretty if you do emboss that little piece. So go ahead and get that done. She'll be back this week. Oh, good. Yes, good. Glad to hear that Sharon's coming back. Wonderful. The little one fell asleep under the table. He's the one who's deaf, so as long as I don't move or kick him, he should be good. He should be out for the count now. He really is a cute baby. I felt so bad. The other day I was at, when I was at my office working, like my real job, I didn't realize he was under the desk, and I rolled my chair and I rolled over his tail. I felt so terrible. He didn't wake up, so I guess he didn't feel it, but I felt terrible. All right. Okay, we're getting done with 5. Good. All right. A little bit more time. Okay. All right. All right. Let's go on to hint number 6. So now you want to take that same piece of cardstock that you just cut and or embossed, and attach it to the front, the front of your card. The only piece that's left, the left side, because we cut off the right side. So you want to just layer that over the piece of your card front that is left. All right. Let me know when you guys are ready to move on. And we'll keep going. I have to finish designing my September workshop. That's going to be Rustic Harvest. I've got some of the designs preliminarily done, but still have a ways to go. All right. Don't forget to let me know when you're done with 6. Done 6. Okay. All right. We're ready to kind of move on. So now for number 7, you want to adhere your designer series paper to the inside of the card, making sure that the folded edge is on the right, so that when you open it up, it's going to open like this. Okay, so it's unlike a card, which is going to open like this. Our DSP is going to open like this. Okay. Yes, it is the 27th of September, I believe. Pretty sure that's when it's going to be, but I will get the word out. That was on my to-do list this week, which obviously didn't get done. So it'll be like first thing tomorrow, or maybe even when I go upstairs, I'll get on the thing and open the event. Yeah, the whole website training thing, they call it intensive for a reason, and it is intensive because it takes a while to do everything. As I get more familiar with the program, it's getting much easier, but it's definitely intense. Good. Yeah, we'd love to have you come. We had fun last time. We hadn't that many people, but we had fun. All right. Yeah, I think there's not many hints. We're good. All right. Again, don't forget, let me know when you're done with your hint, with like hint 7, and we'll move on to hint 8. I'm not sure what we're doing this step. All right, so you have a piece of designer series paper. It was 8.5 by 5.25. You should have scored it at 4 inches. I'm sorry, the paper was 8 by 5.25. So you should have scored that at 4 inches, so directly in half. And we're gonna just attach like the bottom edge. So you're gonna have like a book. You're gonna have a piece of, so this is, here's a piece of designer series paper, right? Okay, so we have our designer series paper. We're gonna fold it in half, right? And we're just gonna put this edge, we're gonna adhere that edge to the card base, the inside of your card. And this way it wouldn't open, it's gonna open this way. So it's going to open to the right. So you want your fold to be on the right side of your card. Let's say this is our card base here. Let's say this is our card base, right? This is our card base, all right? Because it doesn't go all the way to the edge. So our card is going to open like this. And then we're going to insert that designer series paper with here's our fold. We're going to keep that fold, kind of off to the right. And then it's going to open this way. So when the card is closed, we have that, and then we have our card front. So you're only going to see a little bit of the designer series paper. Does that make sense, Marcia? All right, I just want to make sure that everybody's on this step is together. I don't want anybody to have problems to move on. Wow, now Oliver came down to join us. Okay, so let me just, so we have here a piece of our cardstock, right? I'm just going to fold this in half just so you can see. So our cardstock, our card looks like this. Okay, so we have our little card base. We've got our card, this is the piece that was fancy that we embossed. Okay, so we have that. Now in here is where we're going to take that piece of designer series paper. And again, this is a very small piece, but I'm just going to fold it in half. So we have a piece of designer series paper that we folded in half. We want to add adhesive to the back of it and stick it down inside our card base so that the fold on the paper, the crease in the paper is by the right edge of your card. So that when it's closed, right? You have your card over here, your card stock over here. We're going to open that. And then when you go to the inside, you open the designer series paper the opposite way from a normal opening. So this is opening from left to right as opposed from right to left. Does that help, Marcia? Is that better? If not, I'll go back over it, but let me know if that helps. Okay. Let me, this is not a complete piece. But this is, okay. I'm just gonna cut myself some paper here. All right. Okay. Hang on. Let's see. Let's not cut that. Let's score that. Okay. All right. So Marcia, here's, let me see, maybe this will help you. Here's my card base, right? So I have it. There's my 2-inch piece that's missing. I'm going to put that on later. I have a piece of my DSP that's 8 inches long, right? By 5¼ inches tall. And I've scored it at 4 inches. Now I'm going to fold it. I'm going to turn it over because this is the back side of my DSP. And I'm going to, but made a mess. Go ahead. Okay. All right. I'm just going to put this in. All right. So once it's in there, right? That's what it should look like once it's all done. Okay. All right. Okay. So now you want to adhere your basic white circle from hint 2. I'm sorry, scratch that. The big piece of basic white from hint 2, you want to adhere that to the inside of the DSP. In other words, to the side that's glued down to the card, not the side that's going to open, okay, but the side that's actually glued down to the card base. Okay, let me know when you guys are done with hint 8. And Marcia, don't worry, I will have these up on my website, so you can download the instructions again, or you can obviously watch the replay of this video, because that will be available for you, of course. And you can always just contact me and I can email you the tutorial. So just let me know. But I'm sure you'll get it figured out because you did a great job last week. Yes, of course I can. All right. So here is our card. All right. We cut off that 2-inch strip. We're going to put it over here. Then I put this here. So this is glued down. Okay. This piece is open. Like I said, this opens from right to left, and this opens from left to right. So that's what it should look like. And then that other piece from hint number 2, that goes right here on top of this piece of designer series paper. Okay, so when you close it, that piece will be hidden behind this flap of DSP. Okay. I'm going to go on to hint number 9. I think we're ready. Okay. So now we're going to take the basic white circle from hint number 3, and we're going to attach it to the larger color cardstock, coordinated color cardstock. Okay, so basically you're just layering the circles together. All right, are we done with number 9? Can we move on? Okay, I don't see anybody coming through yet. Give another minute or two just to see. It doesn't take that long to layer your circles together. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay. All right, moving on, number 10. So now using Stampin' Dimensionals, we're going to adhere those circles to the card front, having about half the circle overhang that right edge. So it's going to be kind of centered on that left, on the left part of your card, and it's going to overhang so that half of it will kind of like look like it's on the DSP. Obviously, don't adhere it to the DSP, just adhere it to the cardstock. All right. Are we done with number 10? All right. Number 11. Pretty simple. Add embellishments as desired. And I am going to show you what mine looks like. So this was my sample card. So I did emboss the that little piece I cut off. I just kind of thought that made it look a little bit more interesting. And I've got my circles here. And then there is my inside. So that white piece will sit right on top of your designer series paper. All right, that's it for this edition of Sunday Secret Stamping. I hope everybody had a good time. I can't wait to see what you've made. Don't forget, post pictures of your cards so we can all see your beautiful creations. I love that you share them. So thank you so much for sharing this evening with me. I really appreciate you coming on, supporting me, having fun together. I hope you all have a lovely evening and a fabulous week. I will see you all next week. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Anne. Bye, everybody.